Hello, ladies and gentlemen, crypto deep divers. Welcome back to Weekly Crypto. Today, I'm going to talk about the scenarios of the collapse. Also, I will touch on Yellow Vest protester. They call for a run on the French bank. Just in case you're new to the channel, just to remind everybody that Slam is going to have an airdrop. This is a EOS gaming dApps development platform. And the airdrop will be on January 17. I think you need to air grab. So you need to air grab using the Meet.1 wallet. And air grab is not free. You have to pay RAM. So you can check it out. Also, Morpheus.Network is also having an airdrop. This looks like it goes through KYC. So if you're interested, you can, if you're a Morpheus.Network token holder, you can check it out. And also, for BetDice, they are giving out a lucky draw. So if you're newbies, you can still get the lucky draw. But if you have been playing the lucky draw every 24 hours, they stop doing that. But you can stake your token to earn additional payout. Make sure you go to your wallet and stake your token. Also go to your balance to claim the payout once in a while. This will automatically go to your EOS account. If you're interested, you can click the link below. Also, Tron Dice is giving out dividend as well. Tron you can mine the NT token. You can sell the NT token in the decentralized exchange. If you're interested, you can click the link below. So don't bet on something you cannot afford to lose. This is just a game. So before we get into that, make sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out the upcoming airdrop giveaway for ICO. Also, you can follow me on Twitter as well. And so this article basically talk about the scenarios of the collapse. So last year we don't have a Christmas rally. Basically, is a going downhill the stock market, and so there's a free scenario, global depression, and everything because of the QE or quantitative easing policy for the last 10 years after the financial collapse of 2008. And all this asset bubble has been popping up and everything. So they're talking about because of the economic expansion, right now will go into reverse, and it will the asset market will experience a severe contraction. It will be over 50%. That's a lot. And then credit will become restricted. Corporation and household will deleveraging, all that thing, and then global trade flow will stop. And also GDP also will fall drastically from 10 to 25%. Unemployment will be skyrocket. And the standard means of stimulus by central banks and government are exhausted without any notable improvement. Because I mean, those are very experiential. Basically, in the history, you have never done this before, like QE, quantitative easing. Basically printing money out of thin air, buying up all this asset, and then popping up the market. And if the past 10 years, if you buy real estate or stock in the stock market, you probably doing very well. But then if you are safer, or if you don't want any risk tolerance, you put your money into the bank, you probably lose out the purchasing power. But right now they're rewinding. They try to increase. They already increased interest rate last year, probably four times. So that's why they're tightening. So no more easy money policy. That's why the stock market was not doing really well last year, like around before Christmas. And also because of the current asset bubble, and then they will have to relentlessly like unwinding the leverage and all that, and then also there's a systemic risk in the global financial system as well. And all the major banks are still all in with the rate pinned at a fair. They basically all in with the lowest interest rate ever in history. And the ability for them, for the central banker to respond will be highly restricted for the next turnaround, because right now the interest rate is historically low, and the Federal Reserve do not have much ammunition to deal with the next crisis if the interest rate is that low. So the only ammunitions they have probably doing another QE if something happen again. But the QE will not be effective anymore because you have already overdone for the last 10 years. And and also combined with the Zambia global business sector, and also a potential hard landing in China. This will lead the world economy in the depression. And I'm not surprised because back in 10 years ago, China still is not that highly leveraged. Even China was highly leveraged, is highly leveraged right now. And at the time, China has a lot of reserve and everything. They have their own problem as well. A hard landing in China, I'm not that surprised because for the last 10 years, they have been overbuilding a lot of ghost city and all that, and a lot of corporate debt, and a lot of they build up a lot of debt themselves as well. So this time will be even difficult because China will be in hard landing as well. And don't forget the QE1, QE2, QE3. Right now they're trying to rewinding, but then I don't know, will they really rewinding? We'll see. And also, the reason why I say that is because the Fed Chairman Powell, I think on January 4th, making a statement saying that flexibility on the rate this year. So I think last year, I think they have been increasing interest rate and all that. All of a sudden, because of the stock market is not doing well and the stock market is crashing like around Christmas time, and he's now changing his position. Basically, stock rally after chairman says central bank isn't on a fixed path to push benchmark rate higher. So he basically changing his position because the stock market did not do really well, and also because probably the President Trump saying he's going to fire him because he keep on increasing the interest rate and crashing the stock market and all that. And if you see the stock, okay, on January 4th when he make the statement, when he make the statement, you can see the S&P go up, go back up go back up. So I don't know how long does it last. So right now, the 10 years already have the economy is already on morphine, and right now it seems like they don't want to stop at all. They want to keep pumping the market. I don't know how will that last. So the second scenario is a systemic meltdown. And systemic crisis would mean a global financial meltdown because of the deficits of trust between the counterparties within the system. Even before the 2008, a systemic meltdown was mostly a theoretical construct. But the thing is, it actually happened in mid-October in 2008. Global leaders were faced with the possibility that bank will not open on Monday. Remember the financial crisis back in 2008, Lehman Brothers collapse, Bear Stearns collapse, and all that. The interbank market had frozen, and no one knew the amount of basically the interbanking was frozen, and nobody knows the amount of losses the bank carry on their books, because they remember they repackage all this toxic asset and sell it to individual investor, and then you don't know all this toxic asset, and then nobody knows because the thing is they don't settle on the same day. They have like T+1 or whatever. They have a few days. So this is not a system very good, because just like, for example, in cryptocurrency, it's settled at the same time, right? When you transfer money, when you transfer crypto, you transfer maybe depending on how busy the network, you within probably within a few minutes you confirm the transactions. But in this real world stock market, it's like you have T+1 and all that, you have all these things, so nobody knows, they may not have that liquidity during that time, right? When you when the bank, between banks, they do transfer or whatever. So the global financial was basically back in the financial crisis were grinding to a halt, and then politicians and central banks saved the day by just guaranteeing bank deposit, and also they provide capital and extraordinary guarantee to keep the important financial institutions standing and credit floating. This is basically too big to fail, basically. So the problem is that many of these measures are already in play right now, and when the next crisis hit, the solvency of the government and the central bank will also be in questions. And although right now they're trying to do the QT, quantitative tightening, But the thing is, as I mentioned earlier, the Fed chairman right now probably saying that this is not fixed. It may adjust it. So basically, they're kicking the can down the road once again. And a crash in the asset value would also affect the collateral of the bank. And because the global depression will lead to massive increase in loan losses and also impair banking sector, once again, it will face financial collapse. And once again, the taxpayer may need to bail them out once again. And so basically, if a systemic meltdown would mean that banking actions, your ATM machine is not working, you no longer can get money out of the bank, distribution of money, no more loans, no more banking services, and credit card is not working, ATM not giving out money, loans could not be rolled over, and collapse of the global trade, and then the world economy will also collapse. So that means the global GDP will also fall to 20 to 40%. 40% is very substantial. And then modern society will also cease to exist in the current form. And scenario 3 is the fairy tale. And basically, they are going to restart the QE programming, the QE program, basically printing all this artificial money, and then once again push the artificial central bank liquidity into the financial market. The thing is, I don't know if this will be effective because it has been doing it for the last 10 years. And the margin of diminishing return. If you study economics, you probably know what I'm talking about. Margin of diminishing return is basically the first time you do that has a great effect. The second time you do it will have less effect. So I don't know this time around if you pump all this money, will that be effective anymore? And also the interest rate is that low. I mean, if you're pumping all this money, eventually have to flow to the consumer, it may create inflation at the end. Currently, we don't have a hyperinflation. Is because all the money is still in the institutional level, and but the thing is, all this money go to the stock market and the real estate market, so that's why popping up the market. And also, so they say they're going to buy estimate a total. This is just talking about the fairy tale. So right now, the central bank. So in they will not right now. I think if something happened, that right now estimate already have 400 trillion. They already have those global risk asset. That would mean the balance sheet of the major central bank would need to expand at least fivefold from the current, which is from the current level of 20 trillion. And basically, there's a printing money. Printing money basically they don't do anything. They don't really printing money. They're printing money using the computer. Basically, the Fed just do it electronically. They send all this money to the bank. Even those community banks from the last financial crisis, they don't have any toxic asset. And then the Fed say, okay, you just get the money. I don't care. Okay, they give out all the money in a digital manner to all the banks, even though the bank do not have any problem in the last financial crisis. Some community bank, they don't have any toxic asset, they still get the money from the last financial crisis. So basically, the production cost of digital printing money is close to zero, and basically they can just once again kicking the can down the road. But I don't know how far they can do that this time around. It will be maybe this time will be different. This time will be different because of the sovereignty of the government may also be affected. So they're saying that to distribute such an incomprehensible sum of new money, central bank will need to give it directly to the consumer. That will be a bad idea because it will increase inflation. They will have a hyperinflation, and sometimes it may have stagflation as well. So stagflation is basically you don't have any growth, and yet you have inflation. That is the worst case scenario. You don't want that. You don't want to have a stagflation. I think back in the 80s they have stagflation. I can't remember. That was not good. So the production side, so basically they're saying that the production side of the economy will be unlikely to be able to respond to such a massive increase in artificial demand because of the funny money, the easy money. And there will be widespread corporate bankruptcy, and also will be hyperinflation will be followed. This is because you give it to the consumer, it's going to have a hyperinflation. Everybody has money, they want to buy, you know, automobiles or buy houses, whatever. There will be hyperinflation. And also, Bank of Japan. If you know that, Bank of Japan, they have been own almost 40% of the sovereign bond. Basically, they are the only buyers of those sovereign bond of their own country. Bank of Japan, 40%. This is crazy. And basically, at some point, if things go desperate, there may be nationalization of the capital market. And basically, the pension fund and all the retirement fund have to buy treasury. Nobody's going to buy it, right? So it could happen if things get desperate. And so basically, we don't know. So what do you think? So what do you think this three scenario? Which one do you think is going to happen? And what do you think the outlook for the economy in 2019 and 2020? It would please comment below what do you think about the economy down the road. So let's touch on the Yellow Vest protester call for run on the French bank. So they're saying that they're going to do the withdrawal. Let's see, withdraw the money from the bank and all that on Friday, local time 7 p.m. So I think the thing is, hey, the bank, I don't think the bank is open at 7 p.m. on Friday, right? This is just ATM withdrawal. ATM withdrawal, there's limit. So I doubt this will be successful. And I think if you have such a campaign, you should just do it silently, just organize somewhere. I don't know. I think they should just do it overnight. So everybody withdrawn huge amount of money. But right now, I don't think it will have any effective because it gives too much time for the government to counteract with them. So let me know what you think about this bank run in France. Let's see. So if you're in Europe, let me know what you think about the Yellow Vest movement. And it also spread to the UK as well. So this is interesting. Will this Yellow Vest movement will spread to the rest of the Europe, eventually go to the US or Asia as well? Please comment below. I would like to hear from you. If you find this video helpful, smash the like button, subscribe, also comment below. I would like to hear from you. And this will also help my ranking in YouTube. And also smash the like button as well if you find this video helpful. Also, you can follow me on Twitter as well. And remember, crypto deep divers, we the people take control of our money. Stay wise, stay safe, peace. I'm not a financial advisor. Investing in ICO or cryptocurrency has inherent risk. Please use your due diligence.